Everybody, welcome to Teaching Crypto. Please hit that like, that subscribe button, bell notification. Super chats in the store are open. Anything you can do to help the show, we greatly appreciate it. How about the last 48 hours? Bitcoin hit an all time high of 123,000. That's right, 123K. We're sitting now just barely under 120 as I speak to you. That's awesome. That is awesome. Not going down to the 120, but getting to the 123 and holding at close to 120 here, just barely below 120. I love it. I love it. My prediction for this month was 125. We get to 125, and that's looking like a very, very conservative guess. So I'm loving that. I'm loving Bitcoin right now, making all-time highs consistently. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I did say in August 140. Okay, we can get to 125 and hold. That would be a great stepping stone to the 140. But I'm sure you also want to know about the other altcoins. What is going on? Well, heck, if you went to the Penguins, we talked about, right? We told you about a new project, since we mentioned the Pudgy Penguins, guess what? And we always say do your own research, but it's up 105% from there. So you can see there are some projects that are going to run. It's going to be a different alt season. I'm really looking. I gotta say, ETH, just historically, for there to be an alt season, ETH has to run, and right now it's underperforming Bitcoin, and so I would love to see ETH take off. It's been nice to see ETH get to 3K. Welcome, Bobby Digital. Thank you for your support. It's been nice to see ETH get to 3K, but that's not nearly enough. All right. Uh, we got to go. Yeah, Mr. FOMO couldn't make it, unfortunately. I don't know if he bought a bunch of the Penguin, and uh, I know he's got some issues he's dealing with, but I don't know how much of the Penguin he bought. He was a bit leery, but had he got some, he'd be pretty happy right now. I'm looking at ETH. It is above 3K. A lot of charts seem to think that ETH can get to 33, 3,400 pretty easily in the next week or so. I'd love to see that. But listen, I think ETH gets to 4K this month. You got some fireworks coming. I really, really, really believe that. And then you'll see the other alts follow through. So I just want to say, do your own research, not giving you financial advice. Someone asked, is it too late for the alts? Absolutely not. They are so far from not only their all-time highs, but their highs in this cycle and the yearly cycle, right? So I'll just give you one, for example, Injective, all-time high, right? Well over $53 is at $12.38 right now. The yearly high was $35. So that's just one example. These things are well below where they are. There's still plenty of time. Listen, I don't think the I don't think the cycle's been broken. I do think we got a nice run. It's July 14th. I think we got till mid to late October would be my guess, right? I'm sticking to the 150, the 180. I know some people have a much higher outlook for Bitcoin this cycle. There was some news, which we'll talk about a little bit, that gets me even more excited. But I think if you maintain, I'm going to be happy 150, 180. I'm going to take profits, maybe leave some, or maybe you just want to hold and you're planning on waiting another 48 years to really see this take off. Uh, I think, I know Plan B said 300K was possible this cycle. I don't know if I see that. I mean, even if it's an extended cycle, I don't think 300K in 2026 is likely at all. In fact, I still think there will be, I know no one wants to hear this, there will be a bear market of some kind in 2026. But again, Bitcoin will always bounce back. Doesn't matter what's going on in the world, who's leader anywhere, who's president anywhere. Bitcoin's here for the long term. And I'm just going to be blunt. A lot of the presidents now are going to be in the grave when Bitcoin's at 1 million. So it's just going to keep going up and up. Scarcity of supply, demand is going up. You see, obviously, every Monday, Michael Saylor buys more Bitcoin. Happened again today. This was really critical, and we've talked about this before, but officially, the Fed, I'm not a huge fan of, but US regulators and state banks are now officially permitted to custody Bitcoin and crypto. I think that is important not only for the rest of this bull run, but for the next bull run. I think people that have not gone into Bitcoin, that are Bitcoin curious, I like to say, not buy curious, Bitcoin curious, should get that on a t shirt, um, are going to be more likely to come in, right? I'm not talking about the whales. I'm talking about the average person that 5 years ago, 10 years ago, thought Bitcoin was dumb. And they're being told by their friends, oh, wait a minute, what is Bitcoin at right now? Did you say 123? It's going to a million? Really? What, you think it's going to 10 million? No, there'll be some Bitcoin FOMO over the next decade, right? There'll be some in this cycle, but you're really going to see it as we get further on in time. Hopefully, we all stay healthy, get to see it. But I really maintain that we're still early. We're still early. I mean, Bitcoin has not even been around for 15 years, guys. Has it just had really? So it's you know uh, until 20 years even is young. And I know it's like the alts are there to make you happy now, and that hasn't quite happened unless you've caught like lightning in a bottle, like the penguin and all that stuff. But I think good days are coming. Um, Quick note: if you are a carrot, I know that was one. It had gotten decimated. Well, in the past week, it has done a nice recovery. It's up 58%. It's KARRAT. If you're still holding, I would recommend holding on, not selling. I still think there's some upside. XRP, by the way, has made a nice run this week. If you've noticed, it hit $3 earlier today, went down to 296. I like XRP to get to $4 this month. I'm going to make that call. And I do think, some of the classics like Avalanche and Solana and Litecoin, Chainlink, if you're looking for safe stuff, that they're not going to 100x, no chance. But if you're looking for a 2 to 3x over the next few months, I think those are very realistic picks, right? Another one, if you're looking at an alt, go check out SUI, chilling right now at 389. Okay, I think that one also has a ton of upside. But again, the altcoins, you want to think of them as a very temporary relationship. These are not long life friendships, right? You really do not want to be having these in your portfolio probably after October. Honestly, you don't. And as soon as they pop off, you need to consider, not financial advice, taking profits. You don't want to make the mistake of watching your profits dwindle and then completely go away. That's just the reality. So alts, remember, are not for the long run. Do not treat your altcoins like Bitcoin. It's a very different ballgame. Maybe someday that'll change, but for now, I think it's staying. That's it. I'm just going to be brutally honest. One coin, Dogecoin. I know there's some traditional Dogecoin people out there. I do believe Dogecoin can make a run at $1 over the next 4 months. Do your own research at 20 cents. That might not be a bad pickup. It's just kind of what is your how much risk are you willing to take off? Because all alts are risky, but some are more than others, right? So there are some small market caps, but these type of projects also could do nothing and collapse much quicker than the others. Because like we've talked about, 8 million tokens now. It's not like the old days where there were 200 tokens. There is only so much money to go around. So I do think it's going to be Russian roulette over the next 3.5 months. You want to keep it here. But I do think some of the alts will finally start flying. I do think getting back to 4K for ETH is pretty important. For me, once ETH gets to 5K, I'm taking big profits myself. I am an ETH holder. I'm not sticking around to see what ETH does. Some people are still thinking ETH can get to 20K. I don't see that. Would it be crazy for ETH to make a run at 10K? Absolutely not. But for me, unless it gets to 5K like that, 5K is a number that I'm personally, do your own research, planning on looking to take some profits on. That's just me. And it really depends on your situation. You might have bills. Again, there are some rumors. There are rumors that once they get the crypto framework, and they've talked about meeting this week, getting it done by September, that maybe there'll be some implications for Bitcoin and taxes. But, there's a lot of talk, a lot of rumors. Until those rumors become reality, Bitcoin still, it is, once you use it to do anything, it is a taxable event. That's the reality. If that changes, look out, because my 150 to 180 at that point, completely out the window. But for now, let's just keep it real. I would love to see 125 this week and be proven wrong, because when we were at 107, I said 125. Mr. FOMO said I was crazy. I told him, no, I really think we can get there. I really think there's a lot of buying right now, and you're starting to see some FOMO come into Bitcoin. You really are, and I think it's going to continue. Is it a bad time to buy Bitcoin? There's never a bad time to buy Bitcoin, but I still think there is upside. All right. Here's the way I'm thinking it's going to go down. Could be wrong. We never go straight up, right? You just saw the dip from 123 down to 119 today. I think what's going to happen is this. I think we're going to get to at least 140 in August, maybe higher. A bit of a dip in September, because September traditionally during the end of the bull run hasn't been the best, but October has proven to be legendary. And that's where I think you're going to see the top. I think you're going to see a top. So if, let's say, we go back down, we're at 140, we go back down to 125. These are not exact numbers. And then at that point, we go to 170. That could be your top in October. Hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully we get well above 200. And I do think it's in play. I don't know if I'd say it's likely, though. I don't know if I'd say it's likely, but I do think it's in play. Still a lot of factors. You never know what's going to happen politically, militarily, all of that. World events can always change things. But let's hope we see that 125 this week. That would be nice to see. And let's see ETH get to 4K sooner rather than later. I would love to see it in the next 7 days and see everything pop from there. Hey, guys, thank you so much. Don't forget to support the show. If you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? Please share. Please hit that like button. Super chats on the store are open. You guys have a wonderful Monday night, everybody. See you later.